Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledge it, Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives us more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, take a look here. I saw this yesterday or a couple of days ago. This article here kind of goes hand in hand with what we heard last night at the convention from the Republican side when they get Sambo to go out there and talk about how this country is not racist. But then this morning, you get to hear Kamala echo those same talking points about how America isn't a racist country. And as we've been saying, no one looks out for the Most High's chosen people, either political party. You can have Kamala go out there and echo the same talking points that the the black Republican, ran out there and said last night about America not being a racist country. If you find these two, so-called black people out there pretty much parroting the same notions and thoughts of the white man, then who is for us? That's why this is not about skin color. Not all skin folk are our kinfolk. Not everybody that looks like us is for us. There are plenty of people that have taken the bag and decided to follow the other nations. So, and this is just, par for the course. Nothing new. Now, I wanted to share this right here because this is just proving prophecy. See, this is the prophecy that none of these so-called Christians want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the history of this great country that they love so much. That's why they set up the rules. Remember now, the word genocide, we don't even, recognize anything till after World War II. Anything that happened before that, we don't talk about. So when you hear Kamala she said that America wasn't a racist country, then she tried to like qualify her answer with, well, we have to acknowledge it when we see it here and things like that. Why don't we acknowledge it from the beginning? Why is it we have to pretty much only look at racism that is happening right now? The racism we see right now had roots in 1492, 1619. We don't need to just look at how, what those roots, those flowers that those roots have produced. We need to look at the roots as well, because it wasn't an accident that the uh, society has been set up the way that it has been. But it's crazy that this state here of Idaho is trying to legislate pretty much that you can't talk about the racism from before. That's all that they're trying to do. Now, see, before they didn't have to pass this kind of legislation because no one said anything before. We pretty much, oh, well, that's just the way society is. Just got to work harder. I know that, we didn't get that job because of the color of our skin, but that's okay. We just need to work a little harder for it. We know that, we didn't get into that college because of the color of our skin, but that's okay. We'll just have to work harder for it. We don't want to bring it up to the white people because we don't want them to feel bad that they're screwing us over. So everybody just ignores the elephant in the room. And now that it's coming out, the Most High is bringing this information out. See, when they try to actually act like the moral authority and people start to bring up all of their history, now they're pissed off. Now they're upset. Because before, no one would bring up the history. No, everyone would just grin and bear whatever the so-called white man says. But see, now we're in a different time. So the Most High is now opening up the eyes of his people, giving us the knowledge and understanding, giving us that sword back to be able to, you know, fight back the lies that have been perpetrated this whole time. So let's take a look at this article real quick. It says it looks like Idaho might ban critical race theory from its public schools. Here's what that means. Idaho looks to be heading forward, actually heading toward a ban, a full ban of critical race theory, an academic movement that examines U.S. law and how it deals with racial issues from its schools, according to CNN. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just little parts. Okay. Idaho lawmakers recently advanced a bill that would prohibit public schools, including public universities, from including any teachings that say any sex, race, ethnicity, religion, color, or national origin is inherently superior or inferior. Now we know exactly what they can add all the other words they want. This is all about black people being inferior and black people being superior. That's what they're getting at. So petitions claimed state school board members' Facebook posts support racism, okay, homophobia. Hold on real fast. Says the bill would also prohibit teachings that suggest individuals by virtue of sex, race, ethnicity, religion, color, or national origin are inherently responsible for actions committed in the past by other members of the same sex, race, ethnicity, religion, color, or national origin. So, see, they want to make it seem as if people now are not responsible for what their ancestors did in the past. So, again, let's look at that part here. Or national origin are inherently responsible for actions committed in the past, okay, by other members of the same sex, race, ethnicity, religion, color, or national origin. So, we've been telling people that you're responsible for the sins of your father. That's in the Bible. But they're trying to pass legislation that says otherwise. You see, we had to pay for the sins of our fathers. The Hebrews had to pay for the sins of their fathers. But the other nations are now trying to legislate the fact that that's not true and they don't have to pay for the sins of their fathers. They're trying to pass legislation that goes against the scriptures. That's what's going on right here. Let me go here real fast. So I can find it. Lamentations 5 and 7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. So this is the scriptures. This is what has happened. This is what the Most High has decreed, that if our fathers are not here and they have sinned, that we will bear their iniquities. Now that we're bringing that out to the other nations, they don't want to believe that. They don't want to hear that. So therefore, they're going to try to pass legislation that says that that's not true. Well, boo hoo to you. It is true. And you will have to pay for the sins of your fathers. So again, Lamentations 5 and 7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Just look at what has happened to us for the last 400 to 500 years. That there alone proves that what I'm saying here and what Lamentations 5 and 7 is saying right here is true. We have borne the iniquities of our fathers. We have gone through the curses of our fathers. So just because you pass a law, just because you don't want to believe it, it doesn't make it not true. It doesn't make it of not in effect. It's in effect, and that's exactly what they're doing right here. Now, when they were in the curse, when they were in the blessings, they were loving them blessings. But now that they're not, now they're trying to pass laws. Hey, don't talk about it. Don't bring it up. It's not true. Let's continue. The bill suggests critical race theory and other similar academic practices, okay, exacerbate and inflame division on the basis of sex, race, ethnicity, religion, color, okay, and national origin, or other criteria in ways contrary to the unity of the nation and the well being of the state of Idaho and its citizens. Well, you guys were not worried about everyone being equal and everyone getting the same opportunities for the last 500 years. You already inflamed all these divisions when you set up society where you get everything and we get nothing. It's just when we were under the blessing, or you were under the blessings, no one said anything about it. No one brought it up. So therefore, you got to enjoy your blessings, and no one said anything to you. Now that those blessings are done, now the Most High is raising up many people all over the place, worldwide, to bring up these horrible things that you've done, and they're bringing it to your attention, and you don't have any recourse. So now you're all upset. So you're bringing it up right now isn't what it's not what's inflaming everything. This is what has happened. This is the result of all these hundreds of years of you rape, robbing, murdering, stealing, and hiding information. And now that it's the Most High, it's not us that's bringing it out. The Most High is bringing it out. And now that it's coming out, you're all upset. What's critical race theory? According to the American Bar Association, see, they got to make sure that they're the ones that get to set up all of these definitions, just like genocide. It doesn't accept, it's not a real word or anything else until we give a definition to it. You see, that's all part of this. You guys getting the blessings. You guys get to set the ground rules. So now that these ground rules have been set, you set them along, and now you want to just ignore everything that's happened before and say you can't talk about that. That's like as if you're God and you get to set up all whatever you say goes. So again, according to the American Bar Association, critical race theory recognizes that race is not biologically real, but is socially constructed and socially significant. Yeah, that's true. You guys set it up. You guys are the ones who set up black people. You're the ones that set up white people. You're the ones that set up how black people were inferior. You're the ones that set up how black people were three-fifths of a man. You're the one to set up that the Constitution was never for black people with I think the Dred Scott case. How we were never meant to have freedoms here. Those are the things you guys have set up. You set that up with race, and the churches set that up so that they could justify enslaving another human being. So it's not just in society, also your churches have done the same thing. Your churches are responsible for these things too. But see, you guys act like I guess you can't talk about that before either because we're not going to look at anything before World War II. Anything you guys have done before World War II. All you'll say is, "Oh, those weren't real Christians." Oh, yes, they were. Says the theory also acknowledges that racism is a normal feature of society and is embedded within systems and institutions like the legal system, okay, that replicates racial inequality. This dismisses the idea that racist incidents are this is aberrations, but instead are manifestations of structural and systemic racism. Now, see, they want to act like all this stuff has just happened just because. They don't want to believe that there is systematic racism. This didn't happen, just all happened on accident. How we weren't allowed to get loans for homes, how our soldiers couldn't come back and take advantage of the GI Bill, how you guys were taking land from our people and giving them to the other nations. How you guys came over here and took our nation, I took our land and gave it to other Europeans. How you came all across the entire nation just grabbing the land. That all just happened on accident. That wasn't like a systematic thing or anything. You guys didn't do that on purpose. And they don't want that taught. They don't want that taught that it was done on purpose. See, everything with them is if it's an accident, then it's okay. Nobody has to pay for it. This was not on accident. This, the way things are right now, was on purpose. So just like when you have like, so when you got the black Republican coming out and doing his address after the speech last night, pretty much saying that America's not racist. Then you roll out Kamala Harris and she says the United States is not racist. They're kind of pushing that whole thing that this was the way things are right now. It's all an accident. So you guys, both political parties. That shows you how Kamala is for her party before her people. And we know that she's not our people anyways. If you're not in this truth anyways, you're not our people anyways. If you're not cleaving to the Most High's chosen people, you're not our people either. So this all goes hand in hand. This whole critical race theory, and then what you saw last night. Again, what's critical race theory? The theory also acknowledges that racism is a normal feature of society and is embedded within systems and institutions, like the legal system, okay, that replicates racial inequality. This dismisses the idea that racist incidents are aberrations, but instead are manifestations of structural and systematic racism. So, get the brother who just got shot in the back of the head, and the judges and everyone refuses to release the body cam footage. Just like when our people get shot in the streets, they look for anything negative to put out about that person in order to justify that killing. That is the system. If white people go in front of the judge, black and brown people go in front of the judge, who's going to get the longer sentence? Who's going to get the lighter sentence? We all understand this. So I mean, it's just because they want to pass legislation that says that that's not true, they can do that. But does it make it true? Does it make it so the judgment of the Most High isn't going to stand? Of course not. Want to read something to let you know that this system was never set up, was never an accident. It's always been on purpose. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. Now, see, you guys have also taken, it upon yourselves to say which books are good and which ones are not good. You've played God. You've played God and make it seem as if you're the one that's in some kind of position to say what's a good and what's bad. And so you've done that in order to hide what's going to happen here in the future. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, from the Apocryphal books, the hidden books. We'll start at 9. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. So this has been your blessing. You've been able to pass all these laws. You've been able to tell people for this whole time that you can do all these things and you'll never have to pay for it because of Super Jesus, who's going to clean everything for you, clean up all your sins for you. Let's go to 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. So you built up everything on the backs of our people. You've enjoyed your voluptuousness at the expense of our people. How did you do that? Let's go to 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait. Actually, no, no, no. Go to 10, 11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So you used your laws to justify all of your death and destruction. So again, 11. Let our strength be the law of justice. You set up this justice system. You set up these laws. You set up these laws to keep us at the bottom. You set up the system in order for you to enjoy the voluptuousness. You have made a system of racism, even though now at the end you don't want to say that that's true, but that's exactly what you've done. You set up a systematic racist society. And now you want to say, oh, we didn't do this on purpose. It was all on accident. Damn it, roll out some black people to say the same thing. Pick that black Republican. Yeah, we need him. We need him to run out here and run her mouth. Kamala, we need her to run out here and run her mouth too. And say, oh no, it's not systematic racism. No, no, it's not on purpose. It's all been an accident. And if it's been an accident, the Most High can't hold us accountable. You see that? You see the Republicans run out any white people to go do that. They're using Kamala just for that same thing. We need a black person. Hey, run out there, Kamala. Run out there. Tell them that it's not systematic. Tell them that we didn't do it on purpose, so that we don't have to pay for the sins of our fathers. Pass these damn laws, guys. We don't have to pass these laws to let them know that, hey, don't be teaching that we did this on purpose. Teach them that it was all an accident. You see, the scriptures damn you and damn those lies as well. 11 again. Let our strength be the law of justice. You've done it. You set it up. You set up the law of justice. You've destroyed us with your laws. But now it's time to pay. Let's go to 12. Verses on 2 and 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy and transgressing of our education. So your education has taught many lies, taught the lies about who we are, taught the lies about where we've come from, and no one is able to, as no one's given the opportunity to go against those lies or prove those lies wrong. But now the Most High is doing that. So this all was not on accident. You had your time. You knew your time was short. You set up these laws to support your voluptuousness, your time, and now that it's time to pay for the sins of your fathers. You want to pass laws and say that that's not true. You want to roll out any black person that'll parrot your lies, and that stuff's not going to work anymore. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.